What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be talking about Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League today, and I got a comment from one of my audience members, and I thought it was quite peculiar. I have it here on the screen. So first of all, shout out to you, Mr. Banana 9048. He goes ahead and says, I'm honestly burned out from single-player games. I did God of War, Last of Us series, Spider-Man, and for once, these developers need to make a good multiplayer superhero game. I don't mind at all that it's Batman universe, Batman villains are honestly my favorites, but not everyone will get what they want. A lot of people got hurt because they wanted another Arkham game. I understand this, man, because I remember, and let me give a quick summary about this whole thing. I remember very, very clearly when we saw Gotham Knights. A lot of people were just in a position where they could not wrap their minds around a video game that was not another Arkham game. I remember Gotham Knights getting that treatment. A lot of folks said they had the Arkham formula. Why did they just not follow it? A lot of people concluded that, if they had just gone the way that they had stayed all this while, that things would have just been fine and dandy. But, to be honest, I think that's kind of not fair at the end of the day. But I can understand people wanting the samey thing, because this is a conversation I just had just yesterday, actually, with another fellow content creator, King Greek. We were talking about a few things, and, that video should be up on his channel pretty soon. I don't want to go ahead and, spoil the content of that. But I think this comment really does resonate, in this person's opinion anyways. So basically he's saying that, I think it was totally unfair from all of them complaining just because it wasn't an Arkham game. Sometimes the change is good. And yes, the live service I hate. The battle pass is meh, but a lot of games do it. I mean, a lot. I don't understand the shock of them having one. It's really common. People are just silly gooses and want to complain and act silly. Now, I do understand this sentiment. I've seen it a lot in, the community of superhero games. And to be honest, there is something I concluded that if you want to make your superhero game, I would say financially successful, follow the Arkham formula. But once you follow the Arkham formula, I think you have the license to pretty much do whatever it is that you want at the end of the day. When Rocksteady was going for this game, it was probably a mandate push to them. Maybe they wanted to make Suicide Squad. I can't tell you if that's what they wanted to do 100% or not, but they have already proven themselves. They've already taken the time to, go ahead and make solid superhero titles. They've made, 3 iterations of the Batman games, and they gave their code to Warner Brothers Montreal, who then took that code and the assets and made the Arkham Origins game. So from them, either directly or indirectly, has flowed 4 single-player superhero experiences that arguably are all good. So I think Rocksteady is in a better position to go ahead and make a game like this, which is Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. And at least at the end of the day, we have something of this nature that people can, really dial into, enjoy, and so on and so forth. Gotham Knights, on the other hand, has its own little segment that it was trying to fill. And a lot of people went with this. It's not Arkham, so, it must be bad type mindset. They said, there were all these things that were in the game that we just didn't like. But those are subjective opinions, because those people who actually sat down, took the time to play Gotham Knights, learn the combat systems, learn the mechanics, many of them enjoyed the game. I mean, I'm not saying all of them did. That would be, quite silly of me to say. But many of them actually did enjoy the game. In fact, I noticed something recently, because I would go from time to time to the, Gotham Knights, Steam page where I look at the reviews. And I'm seeing that right now the reviews have remained mixed overall at 69% positive reviews. But when you look at the more recent, reviews from the last 30 days, that's another metric that Steam takes. So the people who are jumping into Gotham Knights and more recently playing the game, you'll realize that that there is actually something quite interesting. And a lot of people pretty much are saying positive things about the game. I mean, Gotham Knights ranks better than Call of Duty on Steam, but Call of Duty sells like hot water. But again, those reviews are a plethora, so I don't think you can actually make a very fair comparison overall. But this is the reality of what it is that we've been seeing overall with these games. And if somebody is saying that, maybe it might be time for the developers, or for some developers, to go ahead and make a good multiplayer superhero game, then perhaps it might be something that is worth taking note of within the community. However, the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League multiplayer paradigm is something that's a little jarring for a lot of people. Avengers did not do well because of many things. They geared the game to a heavy, slants towards monetization. And I don't think it allowed for the developers to be able to focus on content and focus on continuity. The game is now, 90% off and will be going out of, circulation from all stores. That's just crazy. Like, they don't even want any money anymore. They just want to be done with the game and take down all of the live service or whatever service aspects. Even though the game had a single player component, it just didn't seem to have, something really strong with it. Suicide Squad, on the other hand, may be stronger than the Avengers because it seems to have a narrative that will flow and weave in between. So you might be able to play the whole story over and over again just, to come up with maybe multiple endings. There might be stuff in there that you'll be able to do that might just make it a unique experience overall, but many are still not convinced. I would want to play this game just to see what it's about, just to say, well, I wonder what Rocksteady was able to pull off in this particular title overall. So this should be very interesting. What I hope, though, is that they're able to allow for you to remove a lot of these UI elements that we have here and kind of make the game a clean experience, and also work on, say, some of the, graphics fidelity and VFX overall. And I think the game is probably going to get, in my opinion anyways, people who like me and this audience member of mine, will probably be able to give us something to be able to, look into when it comes to the game. I noticed as well that when they were actually doing the, state of play, a lot of what the game looks like it's in terms of gameplay is you have the animations really go super low poly, comic, cartoonish style, not comic style. I wish they had gone for a much more comic iteration in regard to how, they did the game. That probably would have actually helped a lot because they have the realistic aspect of cutscenes. They have the realistic aspect of, different characters within, the universe showing up, but they're showing up with high fidelity. They're showing up with, these, I don't know, the way that they're actually designed. I wish they would have just gone with something a little bit more comic-y, cartoony, Into the Spider-Verse, style. That would have probably allowed for the perception to be, okay, this is somewhat enjoyable. But to bring these realistic characters and then, put them in a position where they look like Fortnite when they start shooting, I think that's also jarring and throwing people off. So who knows? Maybe the delay might, tweak the art style to make it a little bit more palatable. But it is understandable that, people would have a strange reaction to it. But then I understand what Mr. Banana is also saying. And he's saying that some people are just, upset that it's not another Arkham iteration. And the oversaturation of single player games for this person is what they're talking about. And I get it, but single player games, they continue to be, very high in demand. But again, multiplayer games, can also be quite profitable if done right. So we'll see what Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is here to bring. We'll see how it does in the face of Avengers closing up shop. And at the end of the day, it will be left to the fans to, judge for themselves how things go. But I'll be happy to see what this game brings to the, table. I'll be happy to talk about it. I'll be happy to play it. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. How many of you agree with this sentiment that it's time for us to get another superhero, video game? How many of you agree that, or superhero video game that is a multiplayer game? How many of you hold or share that sentiment at the end of the day? Let me know in the comment section. This is going to be a very interesting conversation overall. Thanks for watching. Peace out.